what is Smitten Kitten?
Yeah, Smitten Kitten is an adult store that's been on Lindell and Lake Street for the past 22 years. Our main mission in life is to give everybody, like, meet them where they're at and give them accurate medical sex ed, basically, appropriate for, like, whatever age. Not like you're telling... I could get into so many things, but you tell people certain things at a certain time. Not everyone needs to know everything all at once. We try to provide accurate sex education for people here. We help people through all types of things, whether that's like figuring out your sexuality, coming out, getting a divorce, transitioning, like all types of things like that. Lots of people's like private, delicate, personal information. So when we noticed the increased presence of ICE in our neighborhoods and like we're witnessing our neighbors being kidnapped off the streets, we were like, we can't just sit here and watch and wait for the government to do something, because clearly that's not a priority for them right now. So I know that I'm not gonna sit and watch this happen. So all of us on Lynn Lake were kind of like not on my block. And we worked with Rectangle for a second, and they were doing food distribution out of their empty kitchen because all their employees were afraid to come to work. So they were like, how do we help people, especially when they started shutting it out of schools and kids are missing meals. And I was like, pizza is cool, but I know that these people are gonna need like diapers, toilet paper, all the things that you miss when you run out in like a snowstorm. So one day after checking in with Rectangle, I put up my Venmo on the Smitten Kitten Instagram for like 10 minutes, maybe made like $500 immediately. It was like, whoa. So I closed it because that's a lot of money and I want to know what to do with it. So we just went to Costco, bought like 2 carts full of all those household supplies, dropped them at the spot where Rectangle was distributing, and then they were gone. So I was like, wow, this need is really vast. So over the next couple of days, I put out a call towards people like, if you got money to spend on adult toys, like you got money to help other people in need. All the nerdy people at the sex store, this is like crucial. This is a necessary lifeline human item, but I know that it is like a luxury for a lot of people. So we were like, if you have money for that, you got money for mutual aid, and I need to fill this business up with everything. All the baby supplies, hygiene products, toilet paper, craft supplies, because kids are stuck in the house with their parents, and their parents are stressed as hell, and the kids are probably driving them insane right now. So, like, what can we do? And the community responded. It felt like some of those first days felt like every 15 minutes there's an SUV pulling up that just went to Costco and just like pelting our store with donations. So everybody really got in, and it was all hands on deck, like sorting. Like where I'm standing right now was really like the food area. Then we had hygiene, we had cleaning products, diapers in the back, and then we actually had to move our operation out of here because ICE had caught on. Like we got a lot of media attention for that, so we got some phone calls that were like, I have bad news, like someone's been followed from your spot, or like someone was followed here. Like the stakes were just too dire. Undocumented moms sending documented kids. Like people have been stuck in the house for like weeks and months at this point. Just because there's not like tear gas exploding in the street doesn't mean that they're not like terrorizing our community right now and like traumatizing everybody. So it was like I said, we already dealt with people's like personal private information, so delicate, and we just like expanded that a lot. And we always do mutual aid at Smitten Kitten. Like we always have a little shelf over there that's got like snacks for unhoused people. We have Narcan for free for everybody all the time, as much as possible. After the murder of Alex Preddy, we actually started to collect like PPE and like saline for your eyes and stuff like that. That was an interesting day of like, not an interesting day, that was a really fucked up day where I was heading into work and found that out, and then had to sit like, the owner was actually having a family emergency at that time, so I had to really sit with the decision of like, do we stay open? Do we close? And we were open for a little while. Everyone is reeling, but then folks started to come here just to like talk to each other. Or like pick up a snack or something, and I was like, okay, I think it's important that we stay here and stay open so people have a place of community to like, connect over what we all just saw. And like, what a great way to just like plug into things. And like, when you are traumatized and desperate at that point, you need community really bad. And that's something that we are really fortunate to do here at Smitten Kitten, is like you can see everything that's going on in the world, and part of my job is to literally just plug in and to help people on a human level. So it's a big responsibility, and we don't take it for granted, and we take that very seriously. So another piece after moving the store out was we started doing rental assistance, like cash rental assistance, because another thing that the city is not doing. And they can talk and do a press tour all week long, but if there's no actions behind those words, they're just the same as the other people. So that's interesting. I grew up Catholic, and so like the place that you would go to get rental insurance, it would be St. Vincent de Paul, like much before my time. but so now it's Smitten Kitten potentially. Store.
But churches and schools have really been stepping up, but also we see the ones who aren't, and we're not going to forget that. Same thing goes with like what's going on outside in Minneapolis right now. There's a lot of folks, like some people have to stay quiet because they're vulnerable. That makes sense. We're connecting those people with what they need, but if you are a business that isn't affected by ICE presence as much and you're deciding to stay silent on this, like silence is a choice too, and that is on the side of the oppressor, to decide to do nothing, which is just not what we do here at Smitten Kitten ever. We will give you the shirt off our back, and the $5 that we had in our wallet is yours now.
So what can people do to help right now as well? I mean,
I'm so fiery.
No, you.
doing, but the reason why we do any press at all in all of this, like everyone's extremely busy, but having social media has been a huge help for us to get this message out. And one thing that we have is we have a link tree in our bio where it will direct you towards families affected by ICE, businesses affected by ICE. One of our people that we have in a link tree is for a community foundation or community outreach program called Visu. Does some amazing work in the Somali community, and we've actually raised, last time I checked in with her, $200,000 for assistance. So they raise money for like people's legal fees. If you need a hotel room, if you need groceries, whatever you need, they will have it. And then another thing that we have is on our Instagram, we have like those little highlight reels. One of them is titled Mutual Aid, and it's just GoFundMes for families where like my dad was detained and now I'm responsible for kids, and I was supposed to go to school in January. So like everyone's lives are being like torn apart, and you may not see it on the news, but it's definitely happening. And I've been saying the whole time, like, when the cameras go away, Minneapolis will be grieving forever. Like, the ripple effect that this will have on the people financially, mentally, physically, economically is deep. Like, you could never show enough cameras to explain, like, the terrorism that has happened in our city.
And the only reason I'm saying in 1 minute, because it's the way that people, like watch things. What can people do? Like, 'cause so ICE is like, supposedly there's going to be another drawdown. Obviously it's just tactics changing. And they're like, I come from Norfolk, Virginia, very large immigrant town. And literally as I was leaving, as I landed here, there was a first video posted of a raid on a convenience store where they arrested a guy, knee in the back, everything. What is there anything that you can recommend? Like, what can people do now to prepare for when, 400 ICE officers comes to not a big city like Minneapolis, but
get to know your neighbors. Please get to know your neighbors. Using things like Signal, like a funny analogy I've made is like when you're texting on a regular app like iMessage, you're having unprotected messages, and when you use something like Signal, it's like you have a little condom over your messages, basically. Connecting with people you know and trust, form those bonds and make them even stronger. I would say like make your emergency group for like when the shit goes down. even just, like I said, getting to know your neighbors is the most important part, even if you don't think that they're affected. It's like, those are the people that'll be here when the stuff goes down. So that's one. Cash is always major. That's like the only thing that we have continued to do here because it's very much needed. Walkie-talkies are super helpful, not to like put us all on blast, but like they got that kind of stuff, so why shouldn't we? The whistles also work. Like you can hear them before you see them, so if you're someone that needs to get out, you can hear it, and if you're someone that needs to get in, go do it. That's been super helpful. Honestly, going to the gym and getting ready, like doing some cardio, being prepared for this type of thing has been helpful. Remembering that you need to laugh during these times, like it is horrific and relentless. Relying on your friends and your pets and the people that you care about and care about you. Not trusting, in me, my personal opinion is just not waiting for someone else to do this for you. You must go do it. And there's not a special sign-up sheet for the revolution. You just clock in and you go. It's like when your wife asks you to help around the house and you're like, oh, can you make me a list? Like the dishes are full in the sink. You just gotta go do the dishes. Like sometimes the recycling needs to be taken out in the revolution, and that's still a thing to like keep things going. So having a plan to give ICE trouble and waste their time as much as possible, like taking a weird route to get to someone's house or sitting on goods until it's safe for you to go and bring them. Having a trusted person in your life, if you are someone that's going to be affected by ICE's presence, having someone trusted in your life that you can depend on to bring things to you, or connecting with networks of nurses. Basically, we all got to underground railroad this shit. I've had friends who are social workers that are going to quit their jobs because they are restricting the amount of aid that they're able to provide. And that's just like the level that we're at. I've been saying a lot, like the base level is hell right now. And whatever you need to do to get through that is what you need to do. And like white people especially, I've been saying, like, we created this problem and it's our job to get us out. So if you are someone that is not white and you are mentally just crushed from what is happening, physically affected, sometimes you gotta take a bubble bath and eat a delicious salad, and that's what you need to do in the revolution. Like, this is a white people problem and it's our job to do it, to take care of this. Everyone has a special place in the revolution as well. Like, could just be folding zines, could just be bringing juice to someone that needs it, or making sure that like the caretakers are checked in on. Doesn't have to be everything all at once. We kind of did that, and it's a lot. Like, be prepared. Another thing, I'm just talking forever, it's not 1 minute, but like putting like, okay, this is where hygiene products are going, this is where diapers are going, like taping it on the floor, or putting a post on the wall, like having a trusted group of people that is organized enough to do this. Like, I cannot stress enough how important my close friends have been to me in this, where something crazy can happen and then 5 minutes later we have to move on to the next topic and we'll debrief about it later, but we know like it's just snappy. It's like you work in an ER basically. So if you work in a capacity where there's like emergencies happening, or if you're someone that like answers phones for 911, like you're gonna be great at this shit. And if you're not, that's okay too. Like, there's stuff for everybody. Not everyone needs to be doing like frontline high-risk protesting to make a difference either.
Could you, just before I forget, could you just introduce yourself, your name, and like where you're from?
I'm Ann Lehman. I'm 30 years old. I have worked at Smitten Kitten for the past 2 years, and I've lived in Minneapolis my whole life. Use they, them pronouns, and ANNELEHMAN.
Thank you so much.